So after my talk with Jessie and receiving my formative assessment feedback, I just wanted to make a little video explaining sort of where I'm at with my final outcome idea, um, and like explaining like the logistics and stuff of it. So um, initially I was thinking of exploring more of this idea of like immortalizing memory of place. Um, but I think that was like limited because of all the process and like experiments I'd already done with like the plaques, the shrine, like the poetic objects, like the jewelry. It all just got a bit like short-lived, and I feel like if I chose to extend that further, I'd really struggle and it'd be too much of a challenge, like um process wise. So I decided to sort of like stick to my original idea, which I had from the start, which was that I wanted to um, create an outcome that was like a suggestion of a place rather than like a direct depiction. So I decided I think I'm going to do some experiments this week and next week, and probably over half term to sort of like um, just see where I'm at with the idea of bringing the place into the gallery space, because I don't think I've done that enough for me to start thinking about building a final outcome yet. So I'm going to do that, but I'm thinking as of now to use all of my previous experiments that I really enjoy, like my road sign, my gate, my bird nest, um, my shrine, like all my sort of like objects that I've brought into the places. I'll move them into the places again, like the forest and the alleyway, and I'll document them on camera film, and then so eventually I'll have a roll of film of all of my artwork that I've made on this idea of topophilia, and I want to try and get it processed and printed into slide format, um, so I can eventually put them into the slide projector and project them into the gallery space. Um, this might be quite a big problem to solve because I'm yet to find a processing place that will develop film into slide form. But hopefully I'll find a way to do that, because a lot of the places I'm looking at now suggest like changing slides to digital photos. But I think if I cannot develop my film onto slides, I can do what I've done previously, where I use my film negatives and make my own slides. But then I'll be projecting the negatives of the photos, and it will change the like aesthetic and visual outcome completely. So I'm not sure about that. I think to accompany my projection, I'm going to have a soundscape of me speaking my poems, and with like the sounds of the alleyway and or the forest intertwined. So you kind of get a sense of like the idea of my voice in in that place, and so the sound sort of like immerses you into that into my perception of place. I think just the projection on its own might end up being a little bit less immersive and like successful as I'd hope it would be. So having like a either a photo montage or a collage of photos of the forest and the alleyway, either separate or together, hopefully in the style of like this sort of like tactile and fast, sort of like messy scrapbook collage style, with my like negative film and like handwritten poems and stuff. Sort of like all my documentation processes mixed together. Maybe like half framing the rectangle that I'll project into, so it sort of like sits beside my projection. I'm not really sure on that composition yet, but I think I'll experiment with that nearer to the time. But I also want a like an orange spotlight to sort of mimic the idea of a street light being present in the room. So you sort of feel like you're directly under that glowing light of the street light. And I think that will sort of like, if that's there as well as the video and it's speaking about an alleyway and a forest, I think that will sort of like immerse the viewer into this my own perception of these places. This plan may change due to a number of things. One probably being the likelihood of me being able to develop my film onto slides. And the other just how the next 2 weeks of experiments with this idea of moving my places into a gallery space goes, and if they're successful or not. And if not, I'll have to rethink this idea. But for now, that's where I'm at, and I just wanted to make sure that I got this documented so that if my plan changes, you can see my process.